Welcome. This is the first video in what we're calling the Road to Profitability, as we attempt to use our system, MLFX, for what it was created for, assisting new traders in their pursuit of profitability. What does profitability mean? Just long-term profitable trading. So month to month, you should be making a profit off of your trading, no matter how frequently you're trading. So that's the idea behind our system. That's why we created it. And we are going to show you, fingers crossed, I have to put that in there, how you can use our system to reach profitability much quicker than if you were to try and go it alone. Now, full disclosure, I've not really traded. I've done a little bit here and there. I've done a bit of paper trading. I've tried various different systems over the years, and I would say all up I've maybe given it a go for a couple of months seriously, and dabbled here and there for maybe a couple of other months, right? So picked it up, forgot about it for a couple of years, picked it up, forgot about it for a couple of years, those types of things, prior to actually sitting down and working with Armory to create this product. I had not really seriously traded, and even since we started creating the product, I've not been focusing my efforts towards trading. I've been learning a bit here and there, but I would say I'm still a beginner trader. So with that in mind, how would we actually use this system? For someone coming in, it might look a little bit daunting. We hope to release a couple of tutorials and videos accompanied by articles in the coming weeks and months to ease people into the process of using MLFX. However, it is still in the beta and it is going to be changing rapidly over the coming months. So we're probably going to be a little bit light on tutorials. It's going to be more hands-on experience and you guys talking to me, asking questions. We can have one-on-one coaching sessions if it comes down to it, to get you trading and using the system smoothly. So that out of the way, if this kind of series interests you, if algorithmic trading and using algorithmic strategies to improve your trading is something you're interested in, please do subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up. It'll help us get a couple of beta testers. That's all we're looking for at this point in time. If you're interested in being a beta tester, you'll get free access to our strategies, to the system in its entirety. Something that will go for $69.99 per month once we have got the strategy to a quality, a standard of quality that we're happy with. And at the early stages, for early birds, it'll be $39 a month. So you get a hefty discount for your early support, and even better, if you're willing to go through as a beta tester and give us some valuable feedback, then we'll even give it to you for free while you are providing us with that feedback. If you stop, then obviously we're going to be holding a discussion and you'll probably have to start paying for the product. So, if you're interested in being a beta tester, please do reach out. I'll put my contact details down in the comments of this video. It'll be at the very top there, so you can reach me through that. Now, how do we use this system? Well, we're on the signals page at the moment. So the signals page has a chart of the current instrument, which is AUD USD. That is the pairing we're looking at. We then have the signals that are being created, what strategy created them, the action on the right hand side, take profit, stop loss, something you should be familiar with if you've looked at trading at all, the entry price, average return, win percentage, and what pairing that was for, also how recently the signal was created. So it's a lot of information to take in, I know. It should be pretty obvious for anyone who's ever come across a signal before, or for anyone who's traded at all. The pairing is the instrument, the strategy is what strategy created it, very self-explanatory. win percentage looks at the total trades there and what percentage of them were profitable trades or were closed as winning trades. The average return is, on average, when you took a trade, what would you get as a return if it was averaged out across all of the trades taken by that strategy. Entry price is specific to this particular signal. Same with stop loss and take profit. We also have the pip values underneath that, the percent and point. And then we have the risk in terms of, the reward in terms of the risk. Now, we always use 1% for our current calculations. So we are going off of a 1% risk model, and then you would just times that by whatever to get this value here. So in essence, we're risking 1% to get 2% on our account here. The action doubles as a button, so if you were to take this trade, so we won't do it right now, but if you were to take this trade, it would be assigned to your account, and then it would appear in the journal here. So we're going to see that a little bit later once I start taking some trades. And then you can also filter by the current pairing. So whatever pairing you have up here, if we were to switch the pairing, it would also filter based off of that. So the next thing that probably needs some explanation is the strategy. You'll notice Hermes. Now, Hermes doesn't make sense right off the bat, but Hermes is our proprietary algorithm that we've been developing for near on 10 years. Amory has been working on this. It's his baby. He worked on it to get his PhD and has been sort of adding to it as he learnt, as he became a master in his field of computational intelligence. So he's been adding to it throughout the years. He's been sort of reading all of the papers that come out. He's at the cutting edge, and without going into too much detail, it's really complicated, but as simply as I can put it, it uses a multi-agent architecture, which essentially is like having a cluster of different strategies that all work together as one big strategy. So we have what's called an agent pool. Each agent could be thought of as an individual strategy, and these agents are all pulled together, as I said, to work as one strategy. And when the market is tested every 15 minutes, because we use 15-minute candles, it looks at all of these strategies, and then if one of them puts their hand up to say, I think it's a good time for me to trade, it considers that, and it basically looks for the agent or the strategy that theoretically knows the current conditions the best and has been trained for the current conditions the best, and that strategy creates a signal. So what you're actually looking at here is not just one strategy. So for instance, if we were to go over to the strategies tab here, we can see, if we go to the Hermes, for Eurogbp, we actually have 306 agents within the one pool. So 306 different strategies created through a machine learning algorithm for the Eurogbp. These are the training metrics. I'm not going to go too in depth there, but you shouldn't look at these as representative metrics based on how the strategy will perform. These are just for bug fixing at the moment and for our internal use. But we've allowed everyone to have access to them so you can see behind the scenes. So then we have human strategies. Human strategies is sort of going to be like a marketing material for us. We're finding strategies on YouTube, on Google that are very popular, maybe on Forex Factory, and we are manually programming those strategies. Then we're testing them for the previous 6 months. At the moment, we're just using 2,000 data points. That'll be updated in the coming days to the 6 months. And we then rank these strategies against each other. Or we have them on this page here so everyone can see, okay, for the Eurogbp, this particular human strategy performed as it did. If we choose to, we can follow that strategy. Same goes for hybrid strategies, which just use a very basic evolutionary algorithm, and we input the human strategies. It goes through thousands of different cycles, tries different parameter combinations. So it just takes that human as an input, it mixes things up a little bit, and then it tries to make it better, right, for the same 6-month period. So the idea here is we have a 3 sort of step process where we have the very basic strategies that we manually program. We have very basic machine learning evolutionary algorithm that makes them a little bit better, and then we have our algorithm, which is domain specific, so it's specifically been created for trading, and it has a whole bunch of features to make it understand the markets better and to understand how to create better strategies. And yeah, we look at it as sort of like a pyramid where we get people in with the human strategies. They see that the hybrid strategies are better, and then they see the Hermes strategies are even better than those. But if they want to get these sort of lower 2 tiers here, or higher depending on how you want to look at it, then we would have to upgrade to a paid account. So that in essence is our product. We allow customers, as I said, to follow and unfollow the human and the hybrid strategies. I've yet to add this, that will happen later today. And then we would filter on this page by these strategies. That's the idea of what we're creating. When it comes to choosing which strategies we want to follow and then create those signals for you. So if you wanted to only trade human strategies, you would just go here and you would follow human strategies that appeared to be performing well in the current market conditions. Then those strategies would create signals for you. We're not going to be doing any of that today. What we're going to be doing, and what you would be doing if you joined up now, is using the Hermes strategies as trade decision support system. So as a trade decision support system, that's a mouthful, isn't it? But we're not using them directly as signals. We are having to still put in a little bit of work because we do need to improve Hermes a little bit more. It's semi-rudimentary at the moment. There is still things that we have to do. And one of them is we need to determine what the strategies, what sort of data set was used to create the strategies. Now, usually to do that, we would go here, we would go to the Hermes, and we would go more info, and we plot the training data sets and the creation data sets. Unfortunately, one of the APIs is currently down. API endpoints, rather, is currently down, and we cannot access that at the moment. So we're going to have to do a little workaround today. But the idea is we, because I know sort of how big these data sets are, what we can do is we can look at the charts. We're going to use TradingView for this, just because it's going to be a little bit easier to illustrate this point at the moment. Hopefully once we make our charts a little bit better, it'll be just as easy to go there. But what we're going to do is we're going to add just probably a 200 EMA. So EMA, yeah, no thanks. Oh gosh, let's get rid of these then. Let's go indicators, EMA. Right, that'll do. Actually, no, let's just go there. And let's remove that. And we'll just go 200 EMA. Right, so what we need to do here is we need to look through. I'm going to put this into a spreadsheet, but for the time being, I'm just going to write it down with pen and paper. So what we're looking for here is we're looking for, and we're going to start with AUD USD. USD. We're looking for the trend of the market, which is definitely a downtrend. the way our Hermes strategy works is we use the most recent 200 data points, which we can see is probably about here, 310 bars, so it's a little bit more. So we use about that because there's the gap in the middle as well. For our testing data set, this is what we display for our metrics. So it uses the last 200 data points, which is roughly 2 days. It's about 96, I think 96 data points on 15-minute time for 1 day. So just a little bit over 2 days of data to test and provide these metrics. That's just for the Hermes strategies, bear in mind. Then for the previous 1,000, 2,000, it is 1,000, sorry. For the 1,000 there, we have our training. So this is where our agents get trained up. We can see that's a downtrend as well. And we can also see sort of the other 1,000 here, which is where the agents get created. So it looks, the creation data set is less important when it comes to this, but it just looks for patterns within this sort of 1,000 here. So we can see immediately based on that, we are currently continuing a downtrend, or it appears we are, and we were trained in a downtrend. So we would be looking to take signals based off of that information. So I can give the AUD USD a tick in terms of we are going to be looking to take trades for the AUD USD because it was trained for the current market conditions. We're then going to look at the next pairing, which is Eurogbp, and we can probably just do this on here actually. If we look at sort of the past while, what we can see here is, okay, we've got a bit of an uptick here, so, and then we had a bit of a sideways here, so we're currently training or testing during this data here. We were trained during this data here, which is a downtrend, and we had a creation during sort of a side. So a bit all over the show, but we can see we're in a bit of an uptrend. We might reverse and continue down. So I would say we're probably a little bit undecided with the Eurogbp as to what we want to do here. I'd be keeping an eye on it, and it's sort of an uptrend, but it might be about to reverse. So I'm just noting that. So now if we go to, we go to Eurogbp, we'll do the same, and we're just going to do this for a couple of pairings. We're not going to do it for all of them, but we can see here we've got a little bit of a sort of a downtrend after a sort of a sideways trend there. We are sort of bouncing off this resistance or support level, so we were trained sort of during a downtrend and created during a downtrend as well. Okay, so I would say we're looking for a continuation there. Whoops, we've got an issue there that we're reloading. I'll fix that. Let me just make a note of that, and I'll fix that after the video. I think the chart's resetting when we're getting new signals, which is not good. So yeah, I think Eurogjpy is looking alright in terms of the trend continuation there. But we're going to give it a squiggly line. It's not obvious. Just AUD USD was down, wasn't it? Yeah, downtrend. Okay. So we'll do 2 more pairings, and then we're going to take some trades. Euro USD, I think, has been performing pretty well as of late. but we have a little bit of a spike there again. So Euro USD downtrend. Okay. What's going on there? We've got some gaps in the market, as you can see there. We need to get the data again. Yeah, so pretty much a downtrend, I would say, as of late anyway. And we're going back here sort of the previous month or so, as you can see. Yeah, so we've got about a month in a downtrend at least. And then we've had this, as of recent, this little bounce up, but it looks to have sort of rejected that at this level here. So we'd be doing a bit of technical analysis there, just looking at. And all we're trying to do is we're just trying to figure out if the trend is going to continue, because we just want to be taking trades based on the direction. And Hermes is going to take care of the take profit and the stop loss for us. So we just set and forget the trade. That's essentially what we're doing here. And that is why it's called a decision support system. Gosh, I'm butchering that a bit. USD. So, okay, so we have trained and created during a downtrend, and down continue. So I think we'd probably be looking for trades here. Right, so we're just going to stick with that for now. And now we're going to look for a couple of trades. We'll continue doing a bit of analysis there as we go, and as signals are created. But for the sake of this video, let's just start having a look here. So signals are created every 15 minutes, or roughly every 15 minutes, when the market is tested. And that's why we obviously don't advise taking every single signal, because you'll be taking one for each pairing every 15 minutes. And obviously sometimes the system is not going to perform, and other times it's going to perform exceedingly well, because it's going to get a group of trades in a row that were either losers or winners, depending on what happens. But the idea behind it is that we provide you the best possible trade for the predicted trend of the market and predicted continuation. So if the trend does continue and continues with sort of the trend that it's been for the last 1,000 data points or so, the last 10 days or so, then you should have a good setup in terms of the stop loss and the take profit. And we'd aim to take higher risk reward trades, so those that are going to pay out more than we're risking. So, you know, if it's a 2.9 or a 2.2, that's a good risk reward. We don't want to be taking the trades, if we can avoid, that have sort of a 1 or close to 1 risk reward ratio, and especially below. These shouldn't even be here. There's something wrong with that, why they're getting created like this at this point in time. So we'll fix that as well. I've already messaged Armory, which is my co-founder and the more technical of us, and he'll get onto that later today. But yeah, we'd be looking for, wow, this is a big one here. It's a 5.1 risk reward for Euro USD, which, as I said, sort of hasn't been performing, or has been performing well, but with this bit of an uptrend here, it will have lost a few trades, because we're only taking sells at the moment. And that's a flaw of the system that we'll be rectifying with future updates. We will be creating agents based on a broader range of data points, which will mean we will have buying and selling agents regardless of what the recent trend has been. So we should be able to create both buying and selling signals, and then it's just up to you to decide which way you want to go in the market. Alright, so we're only sort of a couple of seconds away from creating some new trades. I'm thinking the Euro USD is actually looking pretty good for a pop back down. I see there has been a little bit of a bounce up here, but I think it's going to go back down and continue. So if we sort of go over here, I don't have this tool yet, but I'll look to implement it. Euro USD. Let's say we look here. What do we have in terms of movement there? Yeah, we've got a good 100 pips down there or something. Now we could be just bouncing back down to this level here, testing and then heading back up. So there is that as well. In fact, that's a strong possibility. So I might just hold on the Euro USD. Okay, we've got some new signals coming in. AUD USD, I'm going to, what have we got here? We've got a sell and we've got 2.8. I'm going to take that. We then have 24 seconds to cancel the trade, or 30 in total, if we change our mind. After that, it'll be set in stone and we cannot remove this trade from our trading journal. This is essentially paper trading, right? We're just going to allow users to get used to the system, take some trades, and hopefully find that they can profitably trade, and then it would be just a matter of copying the entry or the stop loss and the take profit over, and then calculating the risk reward on their broker and taking that trade. So we've got sort of a 21 pip movement on the Euro USD that we're looking at. So I'm going to take that just because I can. I know Euro USD has been pretty profitable recently. It's just having a bit of a slump at the moment. USD CAD has been performing alright. Eurogbp. So I'm not going to take any more than 5 trades a day. We're going to be doing a 5 trade maximum as we go through this. So I will try and cherry pick the trades a little in terms of what's been going on. And for reference, we are 3:30, 3:40 in New Zealand time for me, which is, if we look here, 3:41, we can see that we have the Australian and Tokyo sessions active. Later on tonight, 8 PM, we'll have the Frankfurt or the Germany session, as well as the London happening an hour later. So we'll avoid those sessions for the first sort of week or so of doing this, but I might start trading a little bit later in the day. I'm not going to trade much of the New York session. I might get up early one day and trade a little bit of the sort of tail end of it. But obviously looking at the times here, I'm not going to be staying up till 2 AM taking trades for the New York, and I'd have to wait, you know, an hour or so, or 30 minutes either side to wait for things to cool down anyway. So I'm going to avoid that. What I think I might do actually is, because this is helpful information to have, what I might do, in fact this is a great idea, is I will code later today the session times. So I'll show flags for when these session times are starting and ending. That way you can see sort of when the session time is about to begin, and it'll give you a little bit of a heads up that the market's about to become more volatile. Same with ending of that session. I also decided that the way to go was to plot both the bid and the ask prices. That way we can actually see in the charts how volatile the spread is at any given moment. We can see here we had a giant sort of move up and down, and this might have been in fact when one of the markets opened a little bit earlier today, 10 in the morning. Here that would have been the open, or the close of the New York, sorry, and the open of the Sydney or the Aussie session. So I think that would be a good little feature to have and something we could add in. So I'm not going to take any more signals from this group. We're going to spend this time having a look at some of these other pairings, USD, JPY, and let's sort of see how we've been performing. I don't know why that's not filtering. Why is that not working? I've cocked something up there. I'll fix that later. Let me make a note of that as well. So as you can see, we're still very rough. I'm hoping after 1 week of me actively using it, it should be a lot smoother. And it's only going to get better and better. I'm probably going to stop adding a lot of functionality after the end of this week. And that way we can focus on just getting things nice and stable, so that we're not having these issues in the live version of the site. We are currently using a development version of the site, which is why there might be some of these issues. Anyway, we're looking at the USD JPY here. We're trying to figure out where the market's going. We had a bit of a gap in the market there, so the algorithm must have been down. Yeah, possibly. We'll fix that, so there shouldn't be gaps as well. So we sort of had a bit of a sideways, bit of a sideways moment here. But we're trying to sell, so the market thinks, or the algorithm thinks, that we're in a downtrend, or it's found that its selling agents have been most profitable in a downtrend, in this downtrend, and those are the agents that have survived. So we're looking for a continuation down here. I don't really know if I'm confident that we are going to be going down. It seems a bit too sideways for my liking, so we're going to ignore USD JPY for now. We're not going to trade USD CNH because I don't have that on my broker. So we'll take a look at USD CHF, which we're looking for buys, and it's been sort of heading down, but mostly heading up prior to that. So do we think it's going to continue up? Let's get rid of that tab, and we'll go USD CHF. We're with Oanda. So we did, it's quite a big pullback there. So I think we probably are going to see at least some retrace. I mean, we already have seen a bit of a retrace, but I could easily see it coming back to these levels. And then it might continue down, or it could continue back up. So what levels do we have? We've got this level here. So there's some good sort of resistance there. So we're at a bit of a decision making level here. we'll wait and we'll see. What was the last signal that they gave? Okay, we're going to ignore these. It's pretty low. In fact, it's a reverse risk to reward, so we're going to ignore that. USD JPY gave a good signal though, so let me just take a look at that chart again. I mean, it wants to go down. Just looking at that, there's a lot more red candles than there is green candles there. We've also got some good volume here. It's sort of trying to make its mind up at the moment though, so we are going to avoid that. We're going to look at maybe the Eurogbp. What did we decide with that? It was an uptrend that might be reversing. Right. And we've sort of been trained maybe during a sideways and created during a downtrend. We're looking for a buy though. Pretty small risk reward. I think we're going to avoid that as well. It's not really worth it for us. Gbp Usd, how about that? I don't think we looked at this chart, but we are looking for buys. It's a big gap in the market there. What's that? It's sort of 2 days. It's not the weekend either, I don't think. 24th to 26th, no. So we'll need to get that updated. So we were mostly created during this part here, I think. And we found that we could only make a profit as a buying agent. Created during there. So we've been very volatile. Very volatile. Today, the spread's been huge. It's calmed down at the moment. But we don't really know where we're going. All of this volatility is not really giving us a direction, so we're kind of going to be guessing if we take a trade there in my mind. So we're not going to take a trade for Gbp Usd. We need to find what pairing we're going to trade for quickly, because we've only got a couple more minutes. Maybe USD CAD. So we are in a pretty strong uptrend. So I'm guessing we'll be looking for buys. Yeah. Good risk reward. I think we might be looking for a USD CAD trade. We've had a little bit of a retrace back down here as well, so we should be in position to take a buy. We're at this support level here. I'm going to say that we're going to bounce off it and we're going to continue upwards. Could be wrong, could be right, but the overarching trend is up, so we don't trade against the trend. And we are going to take that buy when it comes to us, which I'm sure it will. Let's just hope it's a good risk reward as well. What other trades? What other pairings haven't we looked at? I think that's pretty much it. As I said, we're not doing USD CNH. We're not going to do USD JP. I can look at here. We do have a good risk reward though. Oh, I'm tempted just based off of that. But we won't take higher risk trades than we need to. 1.6, 2.8, yeah. So possibly the Euro JPY or Gbp. And then I think we might be done for the day if we take that. So Euro JPY, we'd be looking for a sell. Do we think that's a good trade with the current market conditions? We are definitely in a downtrend. We've had a little bit of a sideways, as I said last time looking at this chart, but we are wanting to go down. There was a very strong candle here, but I'm thinking we're probably heading down, so I'm going to take that trade. And we should be getting these trades very soon. So USD CAD and USD Gbp. Let's take those two trades. Now we're obviously going to add more pairings as we continue to expand things, but I think it's important we focus on getting things working well with a limited number of pairings, right? You need to have a narrow focus to start so that you can sort of get as good as possible on these few pairings before trying to expand to others. Let me just refresh the page. I'm pretty sure they would just come in anyway, but I just noticed that we had a couple of numbers tick over. So next time we get the signals, which happens roughly every 30 seconds, we should see some new signals here, unless something has gone terribly wrong. I swear this number has reset. I'm just going to watch that in silence for a minute and see. Okay, yeah, I did notice it jumped up there a little bit. So I think possibly I'm using the wrong metric there. I was playing around with it this morning and refactoring some code, so probably caused it. So signal age, yeah, see, I just did it again. Signal age is like resetting. Got a few bugs to fix then. So I'm just going to quickly look at the network. I don't know why we aren't making other calls here. Hold on. Let me refresh. Right, we've got our trades. Let's look at the timestamps. Let's take the timestamp from the most recent. Let's also do the creation time. 13 minutes ago, but it was taken to, oh yeah, okay. So I'm probably using the wrong metric there. I might just quickly check it while I'm waiting for new signals. Okay, creation time, it should be signals, creation time, yes. Right, and the grid might be, okay, we might be formatting it wrong. What am I looking for? Okay, we got some new signals. We got a new signal. We should get the rest of them in about 20 seconds. Okay, grid setup. Instrument renderer, okay. Right, so we decided we were going to take the Eurogbp. If I'm not mistaken, yep. So we're taking that trade, and we were taking the USD CAD. Oh, although the USD CAD is a much smaller 1.3 risk. I wonder why that is. It's just updated its decision. We'll take it anyway. 1.3 is not bad. I mean, it's not great, but I'm pretty confident we'll win that trade. Because we only need to move up 17 pips. And it's at a good level. Where was I going? So, USD and CAD. Let's just see where we need to go. Was I looking at the right chart? Yeah. Okay. So it paints a little bit of a different picture with all of the data there, but we only need to go 17, which is here, and we've got some to play with, right? Maybe not as good a trade as I thought, but not bad, not bad. Especially looking at the history, right? So that's the trades that we're going to take for today. We're not going to take any more. We'll cut it short at just 4. I can't really see any of the other pairings going too well, and we're not going to double up on any of the pairings today. I might jump on a little bit later, but I'm not going to record that, and just assess what the market's doing and take one or two more trades. If I do that, they'll be displayed here. But yeah, we're going to come back and we're going to review these trades tomorrow. Once we have a result, we can plot it, and in fact we can see, you know, where the trade was taken. Was taken at this. We've got a little bit of a stop loss, and we're looking to go there. So we'll be able to review these trades tomorrow and see how we performed using very, very little information just looking at the trend and then letting the algorithm do the rest of the work. So yeah, we can see with this trade here, we've got a stop loss and we're looking to go down sort of to this level here. So I would have liked maybe a little bit less of a reward there, but you got to risk it sometimes to make the profits. Let's just quickly have a look at some of these other ones. In fact, we can actually just cycle through these. I don't know why I'm going back. I added this functionality in today, and this one's getting a little bit close to the danger zone already. So it's a very tight stop loss there. So we might be out of luck on this one. And this was the final trade that we took. So they all have relatively tight stop losses, but they've got good rewards that we're looking for. So hopefully we can win one of them, maybe two. But winning one would be good. We'd probably be break even roughly. If we won two, we'd be in a profit. I'm pretty confident we should win this one, and the other ones are yet to be determined. So going to end the video there. We'll jump back in tomorrow, as I said, and we'll review these trades. We'll take a couple more, and hopefully the market's doing a little bit more for us with some of the other pairings then.